So what's up, guys? I'm back with another video. So this time I'm going to be giving you guys something that recently happened in the NYPD in the Bronx. And there was a precinct I did an audit at, and I'll leave the name of that precinct in the description so you guys can go watch that video if you haven't. I know most of my subscribers have probably already seen it, but if you haven't seen the video, I suggest that you go watch it. I'm not really sure the name. I did so many precincts, man. I forgot. I'm starting to forget like the numbers, right? But I'm doing this video because a friend of mine had to ask me. Well, actually, he told me. He said, "Have I heard about the cop that got killed in the Bronx?" And I'm like, and I didn't hear about it. I mean, I've heard like in the past. That's nothing new. It's always a cop getting killed in New York. It's not like that's something that doesn't happen. So, but when he told me, I was like, no, I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that recently. And he said, well, you got to check it out. And he sent me the link. And he said the crazy thing about it, and see, this is how you know that people really like what you do, right? People really support you, because this guy that I'm referring to is a subscriber that I've had for years. And people who don't know, before this channel, I had a channel where I talked about sports. I talked about my New England Patriots. I talked about all kind of things that was going on in sports. So at one point I said, you know what, I wasn't going to do it anymore. I was going to make, a channel about activists, preaching about First Amendment. And I got into it because of my two cousins. My cousins that passed away in 9/11. That's really why I started to do it, because of just the legacy of them and just what they was about, what they stood for. And I said I wanted to do something for them. Go out and just try to find a decent cop, somebody that's out there that was like them. So anyway, he told me to do a video. He said, yo, you gotta do a video. The same precinct that you did, that they gave you a hard time, there was a cop who was killed in the Bronx, not too far from there, and his own partners, his own brothers in blue killed him. And when I read the story at first, I said, this guy, 33-year-old officer, was assigned to the precinct in the Bronx, right? And I'll give that name of the precinct in the description, right? So you guys could go check it out. But he was signed to that precinct, and he was also he went out to. I'm gonna let you guys watch the video, and then I'm gonna be pausing it, giving my opinion. So I'm gonna come back, guys. Just watch the video.
So that's where he and his partners found themselves on Saturday night into Sunday morning. They were sent by this police department into an area that has seen multiple shots fired jobs of late. And we know that gang and crew violence has been behind most, if not all of that. I want to remind you that amidst this absolute tragedy, that is the loss of an NYPD officer, Brian's heroic actions were taken in the course of confronting a convicted felon who possessed an illegal loaded firearm. And those actions by Officer Mulkeen have made the people we serve, especially the people who live and work in the area of Edenwald houses, safer. In a moment, Deputy Chief Kevin Maloney, the committee.
All right, so let me pause this. For anybody who not from New York, if you're not from any of the 5 boroughs, what he's talking about. And by the way, the guy, this guy right here, he is James O'Neill. He's the commissioner of the NYPD. And I actually sent him an email a few times about a lot of different things that I want to see change as a, as somebody, a member from the public. Never reached out to me. He never responded to any of my emails, which is, I want to know why. So I'm going to be continuing to write him emails and to see if I can have a sit down with him. I would love that. But anyway, he's the commissioner of the NYPD, and basically what he's saying is, there's, in New York City, in all 5 boroughs, we have, many people will say projects, right? What he's talking about is Edenwald houses. There's a lot of places in New York, like, doesn't matter what borough you in, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, it don't matter, Brooklyn. Yes, we have regular houses. I had one of my subscribers ask me, yo, in New York, is it just all projects? And I'm like, yo, dude, are you serious? Nah, like, we got nice houses. We got one family. We have everything that you have in your city. We have. It's just that New York is known for the high-rise buildings, and what he's talking about is an area in the Bronx called Eatonville Houses. It's a very, very rough area. It's a crime area. So it's not. I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's really, really unsafe, but I would just say that if you go there, make sure that you know somebody. Don't just go there just to be going there. And but when you're a cop, man, that's what you gotta do. Your job is to protect others and go out there and get people off the street. So that area he's talking about is a housing projects. It's called Eatonville Houses.
Commanding officer of our Force Investigation Division will get into some more details about this terrible incident. But I will tell you now that our investigation so far has found that Officer Mulkeen retained his firearm during the entire violent struggle he had with the suspect. Brian was the one who fired his own weapon. He fired 5 rounds at the suspect. As we told you on Sunday, the suspect's loaded gun was not fired during this incident. Investigation has also found...
All right, so I don't know if he's gonna say it. I don't know if anybody else is gonna come on and say it, but let me just say it before they even say it. What he didn't say was that Officer Mulkeen was heard on his body cam saying he's reaching for it, he's reaching for it, he's reaching for it. So I assume that when he said that, that's when he shot, when he started shooting his gun 5 rounds into the suspect. So I'm not sure that's what happened, but I would bet that that's what happened.
That Officer Mulkeen's partners fired 10 rounds, and 2 of those rounds struck Officer Mulkeen.
All right, so that's what I really, really wanted to talk about. Like when I watched the video before, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is not something that just happens. Like NYPD is known for this. Like they did this in the past. I remember back in 2006, it was a similar situation like that. This is not like this is something that they do like every now and so often. I mean, I'm not sure if what type of training do they have for this. Like what is it that they train for when they're in a situation like this where they have to protect their own? Because I mean, he shot 5 rounds and his partner shot 10 rounds. I mean, that's 15. And then 2 of the bullets hit Officer Mulkeen. I mean, that's the thing. See, that's the thing that's why I always say, never ever shoot at a cop. Like never ever even attempt to even shoot at a cop. Don't try to assault a cop. And these are for the people these are the activists. And I know we're smarter than that, right? We're not stupid enough to do anything like that, to try to like do something to a cop where a cop gonna feel threatened, because they're triggered. The littlest thing, they're gonna fucking shoot. They're gonna fucking shoot because they're gonna feel like they're threatened, and that's their defense. That's you trying to harm me, I'm gonna try to shoot you. I'm gonna try to, if you're gonna kill me, I'm gonna try to kill you. And I get that. So I don't condone, I don't respect anybody who tries to kill a cop, who tries to assault the cop. You can say everything you want to say with your mouth, with words. You don't have to do anything like that, because if you do something like that, if you do last, because I'm telling you that we know some cops are above the law. That's the mentality that they have. So trying to kill them, you best believe that they're going to kill you first. So it's not a good idea to try to hurt them in any way. So if any cops watching my channel, I don't hate you guys, I just don't respect you guys. But when it comes to anybody trying to harm you guys, I'm against that, because I don't believe that they should do it. I believe that, you know, it's a way to talk to you guys, and you can insult some. It's a First Amendment right, freedom, free speech. So you can say anything you want to say to anybody. Doesn't matter. You could call them you can call them whatever you want to call them. It doesn't matter. So
This is a tragic case of friendly fire, but make no mistake, we lost the life of a courageous public servant solely due to a violent criminal who put the lives of the police and all the people we serve in jeopardy. Kevin?
this is Kevin Maloney.
Thanks, Commissioner. Just want to give a general overview of the incident and our investigation. at this stage of the
NYPD Deputy
investigation.
Chief.
The incident took place on Sunday night, approximately 0030 hours, in the confines of the 4-7 precinct. That evening, officers assigned to the
47
Patrol Bronx
precinct.
Anti-Crime Unit were on routine patrol, conducting enforcement efforts in the confines of the 4-7 in the vicinity of the Edenwald houses. Approximately 0030 hours, just after midnight, the officers attempted to stop two males in front of 1135 East 229 Street.
All right, let me pause there. So, the 47th precinct is in the Bronx. It's on Laconia Avenue. That precinct I did about a few weeks ago. I'm gonna put that video in the description so you guys can go check that video out. I would say of all the precincts I've ever did, that probably was one of the worst. Just because of how they treated me, no respect. I couldn't find not one cop there that actually had a brain. All of them, and I don't care who's watching. I don't care if any cops is watching this channel. If you are from that precinct, you are a dick. And I'm sorry to say it. I want to say that my condolences goes out to this officer, because I don't like to see any officer die in the line of duty for any reason. I don't care if they're a tyrant. I don't think anybody should lose their life like that. But at the end of the day, I don't have no say so on what happens to anybody, especially with NYPD. The thing is, what I don't get, and I always try to find answers when every time I do a precinct, is, do you guys respect the public? Do you guys respect the public? Because I'm having a hard time with understanding that. Like, they just don't respect us. They have no respect for us. You know, when they see us doing something like filming, it's like they gotta question us. They just don't want to answer any questions. And if they do answer the questions, they're fucking arrogant. And then I don't look. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna go back to the video. NYPD can put out all the memos about recording in the lobby, and that's their own thing, right? I don't agree with it, and I would never agree with that. But I can't myself. I can't change that. I can't go in there and make them take down that memo. I don't have superpowers like that. But when you go to them and you talk to them about that, and they're not even transparent, they're not even like man enough and human enough to be like, you know what, take me to the side and explain it and talk to me. So not only is he talking to me, but he's talking to you guys to try to get you guys to understand it. And I would never understand it, but at least try to talk to you. You know, look, man, this is how it is, and I know you don't understand it, but we put the memo for this, for that, and try to talk. But just to automatically just disrespect you and just to threaten you with arrest, that's what I have. That's the biggest problem that I have with them. And like I said, once again, this cop that was killed was assigned to this department, and I don't know him personally, but you know, they say one apple makes it bad for everybody. And I don't know him personally. I don't know his style. I don't know how he was on the street as a cop. But I mean, the people that I've met that day, that I've seen, nope, all of them. Not one good cop was there. Not one. You guys watch the video. If you haven't watched the video, I'm gonna leave that video in the description.
One of those males, the subject in this incident, began to flee on foot. That male was pursued by two of our officers initially to a location adjacent to 1128 East 229 Street. At the location, a violent struggle ensued as the perpetrator reached towards his waistband at that location. During this struggle, the officers discharged a total of 50.
All right, so Kevin Maloney just said that the perpetrator was reaching, right? Now, he didn't tell you, they didn't tell you. See, I already read the story. I read it like twice. So, and I've said this in the beginning, I think. Officer Mulkeen was heard on his body cam saying he's reaching for it. Now, like I said, if you try to kill a cop in any way, you deserve to die. Right? Now, if you're in a struggle with that and you're trying to reach for your gun, they have every reason to pop you. They have every reason to shoot you. Because they feel like, okay, you got a gun and you trying to shoot me? So that's exactly what happened. So I get that. I'm not against that. But how did he know that the guy was actually reaching? And how did he know that Officer Mulkeen didn't just say that because he thought the guy was reaching? I mean, you know, I don't know. The perpetrator, the guy never shot one shot. And you heard the commissioner say that. So, I don't know. You know, we would never know. This is just speculating what we believe to know. But we will really never know because we're not the officer and we wasn't the other guy. So we don't know. We're just going by what we think. 15
rounds. And the subject and one officer was struck by those discharge rounds. Prior to the following the discharge rounds, the perpetrator's firearm was recovered at the scene. That firearm was a .32 caliber revolver. Additional inquiries into that firearm have indicated that the firearm was purchased in 1971 down in Richmond, Virginia. Its whereabouts from that point to this point are still under investigation. Following our discharge, Officer Mulkeen was transported to the hospital where he tragically lost his life later on that evening. The subject was transported to the hospital as well, and he was pronounced deceased later on that evening as well. The investigation into the incident, including a review of body-worn cameras, is ongoing at this point. There were 6 members of the service that were present at the scene during the discharge. All 6 members of the service had body-worn cameras. 5 of those body-worn cameras were activated during this incident and are currently under review.
Thanks, Kevin. Take some questions. Brian didn't have the opportunity to activate his body-worn camera. Eventually, yeah. We're working with the DA's office. Don't forget, this investigation is only 38 hours old. So it's in the beginning
speak a little bit more longer and I'm going to stop it.
You say that Officer Mulkeen discharged 5 times and retained his weapon at all times?
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what I said. Yep.
What changes might come of this, and are you considering any changes in training? I know after Simonson was killed, there was some talk about retraining.
Yeah, we did. We put a tape out for everybody responding to commercial robberies after Brian was killed. Simonson was killed in February. And as I've said many times before, in every incident that happens in the NYPD, there's the opportunity to learn and to move forward and to get better at what we do. So we're going to take a look at this. There is video available. We can learn from this and move forward. Just as I said in my opening statement, this is.
I mean, learn from this and move forward. This is not something that just happens. Like, I mean, this something that has happened in the past a few times, and this is where I want to know, like, where are they getting their training from? Like, when you're in a situation, let's just say there's 2 cops, and one of the if you guys are ambushed, if one of your partners is ambushed and you have an opportunity to free your partner, you have an opportunity to kill the other guy and free your partner, right? You mean to tell me you're just gonna shoot you're just gonna shoot your partner and you're gonna shoot the perpetrator? I mean, like, I don't get it. That's what I want to know. And guys, you can comment. You can say whatever you want to say in the comments. What do you think about this? What do you think about officers killing their own? Them not having a proper training? What do you think that should happen? Should they, when they become police officers, when they take their oath, should it be something else that they do? Should they have to go to school to know what target to hit, who to shoot and who not to shoot? So I'm not gonna play the video again, guys. But I do wanna I wanna get out of this so I can show you guys.
An absolute tragedy.
Show you guys the guy who's who I'm referring to. Just gonna go out of here. So yeah, I'm really not sure, man. I don't know what they gotta do. They gotta do something though, because this happened. This happens a lot. So this, like I said, this is not something that just happened today or it happened yesterday. It's something like that happens a lot, and I know in other areas too. It happens too. So one of the reasons why I became out, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this activism thing and First Amendment audits was because of my 2 cousins who died in 9/11, and they were good cops. They were really, really good cops. And if they was alive today, man, and it's a shame because there's a term that we always use. You know, bad cops get good guys killed, and it's true. It's very, very true when people say that, because let me tell you why. We're so used to seeing bad cops that when we see a good cop, it's like, oh shit, like we don't even know what to say sometimes. And a lot of times we come off as rude to good cops because we think that they're bad cops. You know, and it's like, that's why. That's exactly where that came from. So guys, this is a guy. I'll go right here. So this is the guy right here. Take a picture. Loading up the page. So right here, this guy right here. Shit. All right. So it's gonna.
It's Raymore and Flanagan's.
All right. So go to images here. So yeah, the guy was a cop only for 6 years. It wasn't on the force for that long, but from what I was told, you know, by reading what I read about him, he was a good cop. But I know a lot of people say that, you know. But this is the guy right here, Brian Mulkeen. Brian Mulkeen. I think that's how you say his last name. So I don't know why it keeps going away. And this was the guy who recently, the same similar situation. This guy in Queens, this cop was a detective who lost his life in the same similar situation. A bunch of cops shooting, and not realizing who's the target. So I'm gonna close this, guys. I want you guys to tell me what you think. I am gonna be leaving that description. The video in the description, so you guys can go take a video. You guys can go take a look at the video so you can see exactly what I'm talking about that particular precinct that I did. So yeah, man, I think they got to do better with that. I think they got to do better with learning who to shoot and not to shoot. They got to have much practice. They got to do a lot of training with that. And that's like, come on now, like, because I'm sorry, like, if I was if I was any of those families where a loved one died because of somebody else's mistakes, I'll be pissed. Because like, you get paid, right? And your job, you went to training for this, to know who to shoot and who not to shoot. So guys, tell me what you think. Like the video, subscribe, share the video. I'm out.